Hello and welcome back to WebcastNews. Let's get started. Because I haven't made a video for quite a few days now, I'm going to just cover one story in this because it's a news story that's had a lot of new things come into it since I last made a video, which is the GermanWings Airbus A320 plane crash, where the plane crashed into the French Alps last Tuesday. Now, my previous two videos that I've made speak about this, where I speak about the crash itself and I speak about the people involved in the crash. But a lot has happened in the past 5 to 6 days. The main part of it, and probably the worst part of it, is that it's been found that the plane was brought down by a suicidal co-pilot. Now, from the black box that was recovered from the plane crash, they seem to have found that what happened was 27-year-old Andreas Lubitz, who was the co-pilot for the flight, deliberately brought the plane down into the French Alps mountain range. Captain of the flight, Patrick Sondheimer, left the cockpit for some reason, probably to go to the toilet, and left Andreas Lubitz in control of the plane. This is when Mr. Lubitz then locked the cockpit door and set the plane to descend. Captain Sondheimer then returned after seeing the plane descending, returned back to the cockpit, found the door locked, then tried to smash the door down, beg with co-pilot Lubitz to let him back in to bring the plane up, and in a last-ditch attempt to save the plane, he tried to cut the door down with an axe, however was obviously unsuccessful. I do just want to take a moment to commemorate the actions of Captain Sondheimer, because some people could say, you know, it's his job to get back in there, it's something he should be doing, but to actually have the bravery to try and get back in there in such a horrifying situation is extremely brave. So commemorations do go to the man, and commemorations go to the other 148 victims in this who had no idea what was going on. Now, since this came out and since the plane went down, a lot of things have come out about Mr. Andreas Lubitz and, well, mainly about him. An ex-girlfriend of Mr. Lubitz's said that he wanted to make a gesture that will go down in history. Sadly, if this is what he meant, it was the wrong way to do it. And German prosecutors have said that Mr. Lubitz had previously been treated for suicidal tendencies and most likely depression. And they also found not long after the plane crash that the co-pilot, Mr. Lubitz, had been given a sick note by a doctor on the day to actually take the day off. And it's now being reported that he had ripped that letter up and gone in. And now it really is moving on to the touchy, very touchy subject of suicide and depression, because this is what Mr. Lubitz suffered from and what he eventually did. That's been confirmed by GermanWings and Airbus that they did not know that Mr. Lubitz had previously been treated for suicidal tendencies and for depression, and he had not told them this in getting employed. So can they really be blamed for the deaths of the 150 people? Well, not really, because if they didn't know, then they didn't know. They can't research something if they don't know. And here's a point that people with mental disorders are the most dangerous people out there. Because as much as you can say weapons are dangerous, and as much as you can say to ban certain weapons, I mean, I'm from Britain, I'm in Britain, where weapons are basically illegal unless you have a full license. Where in America, you can just carry a handgun. So there's very differing views from lots of different countries. But the weapon isn't the dangerous thing. It's the person holding it. And if you have someone with a mental depression, even a plane can be seen as a weapon. Pretty much anything is a weapon. If you give it to someone with a mental disorder who is suicidal or with depression, then that's when things happen. And in no full way am I blaming Mr. Lubitz for this, because if you do suffer from depression and you are suicidal, then you do see no other way out but to take 149 other lives with you is just not the way to do it. And while there is no way to do it, I think the overall thing from this is, if you do suffer from a mental health condition, if you are suffering from depression, if you are currently, in the loosest sense of it, suicidal, then there are numbers and lines out there that can help you recover from this. You will go through lots of bad times in your life, some more than others. But trust me when I say this, and I know I'm only a person in front of a camera that you don't know speaking to you, but there are good times out there. And good times aren't just going to happen. You can't just sit back and hope they're going to happen. You actually have to go out there and make them happen, which sounds difficult. Really, it can be as easy as going out with friends. It can be that simple. So I know it's not been the most happy of videos, but I hope it has got a message across to you. If you have liked the video, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and as always, thanks for watching.